Hello all, and welcome to Sunday Q&A from the truck. As I'm sitting here waiting to get loaded on Friday, going to go to Amazon. Might as well make the most of our time while we're here. Had a bit of an easy Friday, just a couple of jobs around town, but I've been knocking it out all week long, so I'm starting to think that jobs around town are the way forward anyway. So, enough about me, let's talk about you. What do you think of me? No, seriously. Right, what do we do this week? Legal action. Now, this was to do with the fact that Ganesh Bashira did a video, I did one, and he said I basically did his best to do a job for the guy, and then the job went sideways, and then he got threatened with legal action. I will make an apology to one of the guys. When I recorded that video before one of you guys made a comment, I would have included that. That makes no sense at all. Anyway, he's come back, Ganesh, and he said the transport manager, I spoke to him all the way through, was absolutely fine about it all the way through. He said it was just the boss. And so I have noticed that also when jobs go sideways, they're always lovely, 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 lovely until it's been delivered and you've uploaded the POD, and then it becomes a bit like, oh yeah, we don't know. Not everybody, don't get me wrong. Some people are just nice. Some, we don't really pay that. Oh, we don't, well, ain't a lot I can do about it now because it's off, isn't it, really? But then having said that, I also spoke to a mate of mine who runs a very reputable, quite a large courier company, and he said, I've had drivers during the lockdown holding me to ransom, turning around saying, I've got a hand, bought it off, you're going to have to pay me this much money with very unreasonable rates. Like I say, we work together, guys. That's all you can do. But anyway, a few comments on Ganesh's video there. Donny Dalton says, he said, it's all huff and puff. He said he was a witness in a libel case once. He said the costs of he reckoned the case cost more than £350,000. He said barristers won't touch you unless you've got 50k to put down. So the whole idea, I'm going to take you to court for libel. Leighton Charles says, tell them where to go. He didn't quite say that. I think he's going to tell them something else. He said they're trying to bully you because of the review. But like I say, and one of the other guys did say, and I should have mentioned it in the video, but I recorded it early, it's only libel, and it's different between slander and libel. Slander is spoken, libel is written. It's only libelous if it's not true. And a guy turned around and he said, I think it might have been Godzilla's or it might have been Bob Keane, he said, A, they've got to prove it was untrue, and B, they've got to prove that it had a serious detrimental effect on their business. Now, I'm not sure that not delivering 2 pallets to a location in time and having to go the next day is going to be like a major effect to their business, so yeah, I think it is. I think Dolly's right with the huff and puff thing, yeah, that was that. Bob Keane says, check their feedback, golden rule, less than 2% bad, they're okay, unless they're new, in which case you know that from the number. If they've got a CX number in the 1900s, or they're probably up to the twos by now, they might be a new guy. Well, talk to them, get a feel for the people, speak to them, see what you think. Or yeah, so if they check the feedback and they're good payers and they're good they've got a lot of positive, it's going to be all right, aren't they? Sounds like a plan. CJ99, hello CJ, good to speak to you again, mate. He said he took very grim view of the ship. He said ambushing you with unsuspected work at the last minute, most likely knew the place was closed and they were planning not to make a payment. I think sometimes, it's not about not knowing the place was closed. I think sometimes they don't care. The job just comes in and they just go, okay, that's the job, that's what's been asked for, we ping it across. A lot of the time, and I'm sure a lot of people are very busy. Shippers, trust me, you wouldn't believe what goes on behind the scenes on computers all the time, but they haven't really got time to check every location and make sure they're going to be open at the time the driver expects to be there, type thing. But I have had a couple where I had one job, I ended up going to Ellesmere Port accidentally. I still never got to the bottom of that one. And then I got one picking up in kind of Liverpool way and bringing right back down to sort of where was it Malden or somewhere down in Essex or something like that. And I was well on my hours. I basically made it just in time and had to stay out. But I said to the guy, these 2 pallets, do they really have to be there as soon as possible? I'm going to get there at like 4 or 5 o'clock tonight. What about if I drop them off at 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning? No, the guys are on site. They need them today. Both sites I went to, the guys turned around and I said, do you need these tonight, lads? I went, no. We're going home. It's just going to sit there in the corner for 2 days. Could have made a phone call. Could have made my life easier. But busy people. My wife worked in a temping office once, and a lady phoned in and she said, "Look, I've got a sick relative. I really need to go to hospital. Can you find someone to cover my shift tomorrow?" The woman says, "She said, I'll do it if I really have to, But if you can find someone, I'd be grateful. The woman said, give me 20 minutes, I'll see what I can do. She said, Lisa, my wife who was temping in the office at the time, said, I'll watch the woman put the phone down, do absolutely nothing for 20 minutes, then ring her up and said, I'm ever so sorry, I've tried to find someone, I can't find anyone, you're going to have to go in. That's not right, is it? You know? Give and take, guys. Give and take. Anyway, what else we got? Oh, and Chris C. Oh, there's the last one. Says he sounds like hot air. And it says you can get legal advice if you join FSB. I don't know what FSB is, but apparently if you join it, you can get legal advice. Chris, a bit more on that would be lovely. Cheers, mate. What else we got? Factoring companies. Did one on that. Danny Richardson says RBS also do the same thing as Skipton's. You know, 80%, and then they pay out 80%, keep back 20%, and then they pay that when they get their bills less 22.5%. There are factoring companies out there. There may well be ones as good as Skipton's. Again, when I do the videos, all I can recommend are the people I use. I recommend BCD because I use them. I recommend Skipton's because I use them. I recommend the CX. I use it all the time. That's all I can do. I can't recommend Barry's forklifts. Never had one. Haven't got one. They might be fabulous. They might be rubbish. But if I use it and it's good, I'll tell you. There might be better ones out there. Try it always. Or as Julian Rose says, factoring company, you know, if you don't have to, don't do it. Factoring companies are a good way to lose customers. This is true. This is why I recommend if you have a factoring company, also try to do your own credit control. Ring them directly. Keep on top of those invoices. It's really annoying when you get someone ringing you up saying, where's the money for this invoice? And you paid it. You're like, I paid it. What are you talking about? So, you get threatening letters. If you don't pay this invoice, I paid it. You get your account sorted. So if you do use a factoring company, try and get your own credit control in. Or if you can get away with it, C7 says don't jump into it. You're looking at 2.5 fees plus, I mean, there's other things, 29% on funds that you might not need. He said, why not a secured loan or an overdraft? Which this is true. If you can do it, if you can go to the bank and go, look, I'm going to be running for 3 months. I'm going to need this much money to cover my bills, but once this money starts rolling in, I can pay it off on a regular basis. Or say, just give me an overdraft, or go to family and friends, or do what, you know, I went out to buy a van, I borrowed the money off a mate. You know, if you can do it, you can do it. If you can get away without using a factoring company, do. But for people like me, when I started, there was no way. I was basically a factoring company where you don't run. I had no choice, and we kind of working all right with ours. So there you go. BK Carroll, how does VAT work with factoring companies? That's kind of a Gemma thing, but I think what tends to happen is you will charge the invoice plus the VAT. The invoice will be paid with the VAT minus the 2.5%, and then you have to take the money from that job and pay it to the VAT man. It's kind of that straightforward. Like I say, this is something that goes on in the office. It's something I don't concern myself, my very little brain with. But yeah, that's, I think, is genuinely how it works. And like I say, just a mouthpiece. Anyone out there who knows better than me, please let me know. Van on the Run. He said he's lucky enough. I don't need one. It's better if you can turn around to shippers and say I don't use a factoring company for the aforementioned reasons. Right, there we go on that one. I did one on the operations seminar. That was just to say I did one. Danny Boy's got his on Monday. Hope it doesn't overrun, mate. To be honest with you, I was booked in for 3 hours. They wound it up. It wasn't like when you do your CPC. They will tell you it starts at 8 in the morning. It finishes at 4:30. It finishes at 4:30. You know, I think, they might say, and they've always got more to talk about. There's no way you're getting out of that one early. With the operator seminar, it was done when it was done. They told us everything we needed to know. Says everybody happy? Yeah, thanks very much. Off you go, which was kind of cool. Nice people. It was cool. So, right. So on the miscellaneous, Matthew Sidebottom. That Sidebottom? Can't be Sidebottom. That's like a Frank thing, isn't it? You know, sort of. The guy with the papier-mâché head. Right, sorry if I've written that down wrong. He joined the CX a year ago. Tried part-time. Says part-time doesn't work. You need to be full-time. And he says, try getting out nightly, lad. It's like camping. Oh, well, I'm getting the hang of it. I've got me bed. I've worked out it's a wide Boston something here. Our Daniel, the fantastic transport manager, has shown me how it works, where the steam comes out. I'll do a video on it. But yeah, so even in the cold nights, I've been mostly toasting my cab with my little curtains. There we go, yellow curtains. But yeah, in fairness, I still like going home. I will go out if I have to, if the money's on the job, or if I get caught out. But normally I plan to get back. So, Smithy, you say it's like camping. Again, how's that a good thing? The experience of going to the toilet in a bucket that you don't get from other holidays. In fairness, I don't mind camping. I like camping. But then when you bear in mind that I was a market trader, so every day I would go to a open air location, put up a large tent, stay in it all day, and at the end of the day put down a large tent. I've spent 25 years camping. I'm quite happy indoors now. And also that's the good thing I like about this driving job, is I always thought actually I would hate being indoors. I'd hate working in an office. But although you're inside all the time, you don't feel like it, because you've always got you're just surrounded by great big windows, the outside, you see the outside world. I do feel better for that, you know. So what else we got here? Smithy IO UK says that shippers can leave. The other thing about not being able to leave multiple feedbacks, they can leave you multiple feedbacks. They have to go to the diary and then leave the feedback on each job. It might be a bit of a faff for them, but if you ask them nicely, I'm sure they'll do it. What else we got? I think it was, this was Liam Doodley says, when you turn up to a job, do you say it's Pete or Pete the courier from the CX? What can I say? Yeah, basically, you go in as them. So if you get the job from Barry's Couriers, you turn up, and I just turned up this place here, and I walk in and say, hi, Barry's Couriers, got a collection, 12:15, I'm a little bit early, give me a shout when you need me. As far as the customer knows, you are not an independent, you are working for the company that subcontracts out to you. That's the way it works, which means it's difficult to get your own customers, but at the same time, if you don't do it, then you don't get any work at all. So there you go. Paul Wilkins. Oh yeah, Paul Wilkins, Bob King. The videos have loads of ads again. Yeah, I'm sorry about this, lads. I don't know what's going on. I've ticked the box that says no mid-roll ads, and then for the last two, they've added mid-roll ads. So what I've done, I've gone in and manually dismantled them. I've had to go down and go to the actual page. If it happens again, leave me another comment. I'll go in and turn them off again. But I you know, you can't talk to these people. Everything's on an email now. I will maybe, if it happens again, I'm going to have to email them and go, why do you keep putting ads in the middle of my videos? I don't want ads in the middle of my videos. You're upsetting my friends here. So let me know if it happens again, as hopefully it won't. I'll try and, I don't even know if I can see the ads my side. But I will also, if I think when I launch this, go in and see if it's put the ads in, even though I've asked them not to. So, but that's that. Robert Sanday is looking to join in a small van for pocket money. Oh, and he read my book. Something happened. Oh yeah, same thing happened to his mum and dad. He said we should have a chat over a pint, mate. Thank you very much for reading my book. I hope you enjoyed it. Cool, fantastic. Godzilla's receive the red dye in a diesel, because he said about putting red dye in diesel because that makes it unsellable, so they'll stop dipping you. And I went, well, yeah, but what happens if you get a tug by the side of the road? They're going to go, this is red diesel. He said, no, what you do is you put red food colouring in, because they won't just do you for red diesel. What they'll do is they'll take it away, they'll analyse it, and if it is red diesel, they'll do you. But it has a certain additive that they put into it, which isn't food dye. And he said also keep the food dye in your glove compartment, and that way if they stop you, go to red dye. He said no, it's not, it's red food dye, this is the stuff that I put in, it stops them dipping my tank, and that apparently is okay. I've got to be honest with you, mate, it scares me slightly. If it happened to me a lot, I'd think about doing it, but it doesn't. So kind of that's it this week, guys. A shorter one this week. Yeah, no conclusion or anything like that. So where are we at this week? Yeah, just trucking along really. Nothing exciting, nothing else for other reports. So I'm going to have me easy Friday, go back and enjoy the weekend. And in the meantime, I hope you're all well, and I hope you take care and take money.